Justin Rocha, the leader of our group.
I'm Kimberly G. Pabiliore.
I'm Justin Janguak.
I'm Maria Hazel Arioque.
Kimberly T. Manata.
And I'm Juliana Rose Martinez.
And today we are presenting our work for Activity 5.2. This activity focuses on the 47 processes in project management as outlined in the PMBOK guide. Our goal is to define each one for a better understanding of how they function in project management. So each of us will present our assigned processes shortly. And now let's start with Miss Kimberly Fabellore.
Okay, now I will define the following processes that are assigned to me. So first is the project charter. So it is a short, straightforward document that serves as the foundation for a project. The project charter functions as both the project's internal marketing tool and reference guide. Second is stakeholder register. Is a tool for project managers used to capture and organize information about the stakeholders who impact the project they are managing. This document helps project managers analyze the influence and interests of each stakeholder as they relate to the project throughout its lifestyle. Third is the project management plan. So helps to clearly define the project and its goals, objectives, and deliverables. It helps to ensure that everyone involved in the project is working toward the same goals. Requirement Management Plan. It is a document that is typically created alongside the primary project plan as a piece of the scope management process. Next is Scope Management Plan. Is a bunch of processes that are in place to make sure that the project includes all the necessary tasks. The scope management plan is primarily concerned with defining how the scope is explained, developed, structured, and verified. Next is requirements documents are formal written documents that outline in detail the technical and logical requirements of a project. Next, requirements traceability matrix is a tool or a document that ensures all project requirements are linked to their origin and tracked throughout the project lifestyle. And lastly, a project scope statement is a clear definition of the boundaries of a project. It includes all the assumptions, responsibilities, requirements, constraints, and deliverables needed to ensure the project is a success.
Scope baseline. The approved version of the scope statement, work breakdown structure, and WBS dictionary. It serves as the foundation for measuring scope performance. Schedule management plan. A component of the project management plan that establishes the criteria and activities for developing, monitoring, and controlling the project on schedule. Activity attributes. Detailed information associated with each activity on the project schedule, such as activity codes, predecessors, successors, logical relationships, and leads and lags, risk requirements, constraint, and imposed dates. Activity list. A comprehensive list of all the scheduled activities required on the project, including an activity identifier and the scope of work description for each activity. Milestone list. A list identifying all project milestone, indicating whether the milestone is mandatory or optional. Project schedule network. A graphical representation of the logical relationships among the project schedule activities. Activity resource requirements. The types and quantities of resources required for each activity in a work package. Resource breakdown structure are a hierarchical representation of resources by category and type. For example, labor, material, and equipment. This helps with resource planning, allocating, and reporting.
for my part, activity duration estimate. This is a prediction of how long a specific task or activity will take to complete. It helps determine project
Yeah.
timeline, resource allocation, and next is project calendar. This is a visual representation of a project timeline, outline key milestone, tasks, and their corresponding deadlines. Next is project schedule. This is a detailed plan that outlines the resource, the sequence of tasks, their duration, and the dependence between them, all within a specific time frame. Next is schedule baseline. This is like a blueprint for your project timeline. It's a snapshot of the original plan schedule, capturing the initial estimate for task duration and milestone. Next is management plan. This is like a financial roadmap for your project. It outlines how you'll track, control, and manage project costs to ensure you stay within budget. Next is activity cost estimate, prediction of financial resources needed to complete a specific task or activity within a project. Cost baseline, financial roadmap for your entire project. It's a comprehensive document that outlines the total estimated cost of the project. And last is project funding requirements, the financial resources needed to complete a project successfully. Next.
Now I will now present the PN book processes assigned to me. Quality Management Plan, a document that outlines the processes and policy to ensure that the project meets the required quality standards. Next, processes quality checklist, a list of steps that must be followed to ensure that each project processes is done correctly. Next, product quality checklist. A checklist that ensure the final product meets the required quality standards before completion. Next, quality metrics. Measurement used to access into the project is meeting the expected quality standards. Next, process management plan. A guide that ensure each processes is performed efficiently and consistently throughout the project. Human Resources Management Plan, a plan that organizes team members, define their roles, responsibility, and assignment. Next, Communication Management Plan, ensure that the right information is communicated to the right people of the right time to avoid misunderstanding. The last, Risk Management Plan, identify potential risks in the project and outline strategies to prevent or address them.
Risk Register, a document listing identified risks, their impact, probability, responses, and status. Next is Change Request, a formal proposal to modify project aspects, process through change control. Next is Make or Buy Decisions, a decision on whether to produce internally or procure externally based on cost and capability. Next is Procurement Management Plan, a guide for managing procurement activities, roles, vendor, relationships, and documentation. Next is Procurement Statement of Work, a detailed description of procured products or services, defining scope, deliverables, and standards. Next is Stakeholder Management Plan, a strategy for engaging stakeholders, addressing their needs, and ensuring support. Next is Project Status Report, an update on project progress covering scope, schedule, cost, risk, and quality. Deliverable Status, a report tracking deliverables completion and quality to meet project requirements.
So continuing in execution, we have Project Team Directory, a document listing all project team members, their roles, and contact details. This helps in effective communication and coordination among team members. Next is Team performance assessment, evaluations conducted to measure the team's effectiveness in achieving project objectives. These assessments help identify for improvement and inform training or team building decisions. Enterprise environmental factors. External conditions that affect the project but are beyond the control of the team. Examples include company culture, existing systems, market conditions, and regulatory policies. Second to the last is procurement agreement, a legally binding document between a buyer and a seller detailing the terms and conditions for the provision of goods or services. It outlines deliverables, pricing, and other pertinent clauses to ensure mutual understanding and compliance. Last, for the execution is issue log, a record of issues encountered during the project. It includes descriptions, assigned responsibilities, status updates, and resolutions to ensure proper issue management. For now, we will move on to the next phase, which is monitoring and controlling. These are processes that track, review, and regulate project performance. So the first one is change request, a formal proposal to modify aspects of project such as scope, cost, or quality. These requests are reviewed through change control processes. Next is change log, a document that tracks all submitted change requests, their status and outcomes. This helps ensure transparency and project traceability. Last one is earn value status report, a report integrating scope and cost data to assess project progress. It compares planned value, earned value, and actual cost to determine project performance. For the closing, we have learned lesson, a documented summary of experiences from the project, including successes and challenges. This knowledge is used for continuous improvement in future projects. So that concludes our presentation for Activity 5.2. Through this activity, we have gained a deeper understanding of the 47 project management processes of PMBOK. Thank you for your participation and see you next time.